Okay, so welcome to another tutorial on Grasshopper 3D for industrial design. Today we're gonna make this really nice bench. I always call these types of algorithm slicers, and you see them all the time. If you go to Pinterest and you search parametric design, you'll see especially benches. You'll see a bunch of benches that are cut up and different volumes and stuff like that. But for this one, I'm gonna keep it nice and simple and just basically show you guys how to do this. If you see my algorithm, it's fairly easy. Let me show you guys a quick like sort of preview of the process. Well, first we're gonna make these curves inside of Rhino, and then we're gonna make these curves into one volume, and then we're gonna slice that volume, and then with these slices, we're gonna basically make they're called a solid intersection, and and separate this into two different design elements. And the whole idea of this bench was like maybe from here it starts as one material, and here from one material, and they sort of mix into and then end up as the other. So yeah, I hope you guys like it, and it shouldn't be. I'll try to make this video nice and quick. A nice little Sunday afternoon project. All right, so the first thing we need to do is make the profile of the seat. So it's really easy to do. Just go into curves. Well, in the standard palette, we have the polyline tool here, and then also make sure that your grid snap is on, and that your grid is based in millimeters. And to make sure that your spacing and stuff is correct, you could go to here to properties, and then under grid, here, as you can see, my minor grid lines are every 10 millimeters, and my snap spacing is every 10 millimeters. And yeah, so that's where you check, and then to turn on your snap, it's here, grid snap. So the first thing we need to do is basically build this profile. Benches, I was looking up some of the standards. They're usually 400 millimeters tall. There's also a little bit of the standards in angles and stuff, but honestly, right now we're just doing a fun experiment, so no need to sort of take it too serious. And yeah, so just kind of rebuild like that. Mhm. And then make sure that you close it like that. And then we're gonna have to build basically the symmetric the mirror of this curve. But I usually, you would just kind of use a mirror tool or whatever. But we're gonna loft these together. So if I were just to mirror them, and then I would loft them together, this corner would try to connect to its opposite corner, but I don't want that to happen. An easy way to sort of do this is just building the mirror side of it yourself. And the really important part of this, and the real reason we're doing all this, is to start at the same point that you modeled this one. So you click in the same corner, and then you just basically kind of look at where the other points are, and you just kind of rebuild it, right? Then what happens from here? Oh, it goes down like that, and it looks like this one's a little bit thicker, right? And then it goes up like that, and then it goes straight down, and then you close it. So even I don't think this one came out perfect, but the whole point is that they have the same sides, because I want this curve to connect to this curve, and this curve to connect to this curve, and then this way it or this curve, yeah, and this way it will be very very cool looking. Then we also need if I go back to my original, right? Let's move this down to, we'll move these down to the side 500 millimeters. 500, and then we'll move this one to the other side 500 millimeters. And if you press shift, it keeps it in the same line. So 500. There we go. And then if you look at my the previous build, we also need this middle section, which is basically kind of like a midpoint that you have to build. And I'll build that right now. See, so we're trying to basically rebuild that. And the most important part of this whole thing is keeping the same amount of points. So if you see here, I go up here, and like that, and like that, and like that. Oh man, I forgot, damn it. Excuse me, I accidentally stopped it. So like that, let's go like that, like that, like that, like that, down here in the middle, like that, like that, like that, and like that. So if I look at it in perspective, now we have that middle line. Let me delete this one because I don't think there's a reason for it to be there. So and then after that, you just control copy and you move this to the 1000 millimeter point. Like that. And control copy and paste, and you move it to the 1000 millimeter point. And there. That's how you start. That's how this is all we have to do in Rhino. The rest we're gonna do inside of Grasshopper. Okay, so now that we have our curves, we're gonna put them into Grasshopper. So go into your parameters, go into your geometry, curves, and then you go here, control copy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And a quick way to separate them evenly, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we go here, and then you select all of them, and then if you press this little button, it distributes them. And then if you press this little arrow key, it aligns them. And then now let's put these curves into our algorithm. So set one curve, then you select this curve, then you select this curve, and you go set one curve, then you select this curve, set one curve, and guess what you do with this one? That's right, set one curve. And this one, we're actually going to be a little tricky about it, and no, actually we're still going to be set one curve. Okay, so then we're gonna, let's do just a quick loft just to see what happens, right? Loft. If you double click on the workspace and then you start spelling it, loft, you get the tool, or you go here, surface, freeform, loft. Okay, so the first thing you do is you just grab it and you connect it, hold down shift, and then you connect the other ones. Because if you don't hold down shift, they sort of just replace them. So if you hold down shift, you get multiple inputs into the same component. And as you can see, as we connect them, we're already getting somewhere. Let me change the display settings into something that's a little easier on the eyes. There you go, something just a little more. And then this one too. Okay. And then we're gonna display quality. Oh, whoops. Display quality, which I think is here. Oh, whoops. Where is it here? High quality. Okay. So see, now we have this cool little loft, but there's not a lot of control here. You see, there's a lot of bending and twisting, and it's not very consistent. So we gotta do some things with it. um, the first thing actually we're gonna do is actually we're gonna add a fillet to these tools, to these curves. So let's do that. So we go to curves. I think it is in utility fillet, right? So right now we don't need the loft tool, but so we go into, which is this one? There you go. We go here, connect it, and then we need to add a number slider here, and you could and a quick way to actually add a number slider is to double click and then start typing whatever number, let's say 20, and then enter, and there you go. You connect it here. So see, now I added a little bit of a fillet there. You know what? Let's do 30. Right? So let's add that to all of them, and we don't need to have we don't need to see this wire, so we're gonna go wire display hidden, and then control copy. Oh, let's do a couple. Like that, and then we go like that. So now we added this fillet. Now if we redo the loft, see, now it has a fillet between them. And as you can see, there's some weird stuff happening here, but we're gonna fix that. Okay, so basically what's happening is the loft tool doesn't have enough information to sort of give us more control over it. So we have to do some things to sort of help it out. And one of the ways of doing that is basically adding more curves here to sort of line this up and you know, make it less wavy. Unless you're looking for that look, but I'm not. So what we have to do is this thing called tween. Tween the curve, which is I think it's short for in between the curve, I guess. But I'll show you how that tool works, and yeah. So another thing too is I'm going to separate them a little more. Let's do it like that, somewhere here. Okay, so we need to, and for right now this one we'll go faint. Okay, so we need to get a tween, right? So excuse me. And let me hide my curves. Okay, so now I wanna make some curves between these two, and we're gonna use the tween curve. It's here, utility. Oh no, is it utility? I think it's in spline. There we go, tween curves. So we go here, connect this one here, and connect this one here. So as you can see, it got the what's between these two curves, and if you here in the factor, you see it's already set at 0.5. But let me add a quick number slider there, right? So I can move that to wherever I want, and that's basically what the tween tool does. And this is a very easy example because it's the same curve. But just to show you guys the power of this component, like let's say I do this and this, like obviously that did not come out right. This is crazy. I've never seen that. I wonder why. Oh, I know why. Because the angles it's going between the curves, right? And the distance between this point and this point is different between the distance of like this point and this point. So it doesn't work out like that. There's other ways of doing that. So for example, if you did it before you added what would happen if you did it before yeah, there you go. Let's see. Yeah, before you add the fillet, see it's like transforming into the other one. But for this exercise, we don't need that right now. So all we really need is this point together. So let's do that. And oh, whoops, and that like that. And then the other thing too is I need more than one. I need a couple. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the range tool. The range tool is if it's in sets, math. No, I'm sorry, sets, sequences, range. So we go to range, and if I look into the range tool, it basically just gives me already 10 components, right? It works off a domain, which the standard that's already set is from 0 to 1, and then the number that's already set is 10. But I don't want 10, I want 5. And so you just double click, you hit 5, and press enter, and there you go, that slider comes out, and then there, that's 5. So if I connect that here, see now it gave me 5 curves between themselves. So now we'll put this, yeah, we'll put this here, and then I need that for here too. So we're gonna do that. Go here and here and there. So now we have these curves. Now what I want to do is loft all of these. So if I go like that, and let me turn these on. See, now it lofted all of these, and now I want it to connect to here, to this one, right? But I don't have I only want one of these, right? So then I get this one, and I connect it, shift, connect here. And if you see, nothing happened, and the reason why is because data management. And if you guys, once you guys start to experiment with this, you're gonna come across data management all the time. And my next episode will actually just focus on that alone. But for right now, we're still gonna keep it fairly simple. But the gist of what's happening, if I let me make the wires bigger. If you see here, the wire is thicker now, right? And then this wire is small. What that's telling me is that this wire is already up one level, and that this wire is basically the lowest level in terms of a branch. So if I connect, if you see this one, and let me, because basically every time you add an action to something, it well, not every time, but every time you run a component, usually something happens to the data. And if you see here, at this point the data only has one level. See how it's just 0? And then once I add this tween component, it takes it to the next branch, which is, well, basically puts it a level up, which is now 0, 0. And so since I'm trying to loft all of these together, it isn't working because they're not in the same branch. So what I could do is I could either push these down by flattening this. So let me flatten it. See? Or the other way is also, if I do like that, if I push this one up by gafting it. See? Now they all, and if you notice right here, this is all that's happening. Let me, see? But the thing is, you have to be very conscious of what's happening, because like, let's say, you see how there's only one thing here, and I gafted it up. That was a solution for this moment. But let's say if I gaffed this up, look what happens. See, it kind of puts everyone in their own group, and then it takes it up one more level. This is something that you are gonna have to really start wrapping your head around eventually. But for right now, we're gonna keep everything fairly simple. So let me take that out, and to make things simpler, let me take that gaffed out. We're just gonna flatten this. There. So now we'll flatten this up too, like that, and then we'll connect that like that. So there, now we have this this volume, and and if you can, I don't know, it's a little difficult to see, but there's a bunch of like, it goes up and then down, and I want it a little smoother, and this is basically just, it's because how the loft tool works in its standard element, and there's a bunch of ways to sort of stop this from happening and different control workflows to basically accomplish this shape a lot more cleanly. But for right now, the easiest way is to go here to Loft and you right click on the O, and then in Loft options you go to loose, and then here in the settings here, loose, and then you press commit change. So there. Now it isn't as it's a little more free form. So it stops it from having those weird angles. And now we're almost done. So the next part is I need to cap this and this, right? So whoops, which one is this one? Is this one, or this one? Actually, let's see. So we'll go surface, then freeform, boundary surface, like that, and then you select this here. Okay, that one was this one, see? And then on the other side, we need a control copy, and then we'll connect the end curve, see? And now we want to close up this volume. So we're gonna go brep join, it's called, and I think it's, where is it? Here, brep join. So you go like that. And then if I look at my panel tool and I look inside, whoops. See, now it says closed brep. That just means that now this is a closed solid entity. Let me hide the rest. So now we could use this to do a bunch of different tools and components, but this is basically the first step in writing, in making this this bench. Okay, so before we keep going, you know that I love organizing my stuff, so let's organize a little bit. Honestly, we're not going to organize it that much, but just to kind of, you know, I always tell people organize as you go, because it gets really difficult later when you have a million wires everywhere, and it's just not, it's not a good look. So so organize your stuff. If I see someone, if you send me something that's all super disorganized, I'm definitely not gonna reply to your email. So there you go. So I go like that, and then group. There you go. See, not that difficult, because this is actually a very easy algorithm. So now what we want to do is actually start cutting this up, right? What the one thing that we gotta do is also add a curve. So go back to your Rhino, and then add a curve that goes from end to end. So just kind of click here, and then click here, and then add it into your algorithm, which I haven't done in this example. So let's go here, curve. Oh well, we'll go here, geometry, curve, set one curve. So now we have that curve in there. And actually I'm gonna show you some quick ways of doing cool stuff. Okay, so first let's do the we're gonna add some, I want to separate some planes into this thing. So let's go to curves, and then we go to analysis, and then into division, and then let's do perpendicular frames. All right, so you go like that, and you connect this here, and you see it added all these frames that are equally spaced in that curve. And I'm gonna do a couple, but the automatic one I think is 10, is it? Yeah, but I want something closer to like 70. So let's double click 70, enter, or go like that. And I'm actually sort of, this is not a part of the algorithm, but it's just to show you guys, teach you guys some stuff. So then we go to intersect, because I want these planes to basically intersect this volume. So we go to mathematical, and then brep and plane. So we go here, connect the B rep, which is this thing here, and then we're gonna connect the frames here. And I see now it gave us all these lines, right? So let's hide the volume and see now we have these lines. And I've actually noticed that a lot of people, what they like to do is keep it separated and do all that. So I'm just gonna quickly show you how to do that. And we're gonna actually use the same tool that we use here. The what's this tool called? The boundary surface tool. And we're gonna put these here, right? And then we see it. See, now we got this we got these planes here, and then also just to kind of show you guys an easy way to sort of because my method's a little different, but a lot of people do this, and it's really good if you're gonna do like laser cutting, because a lot of times you don't it's a lot more likely that you guys have a 2D router or laser printer, or not laser printer, laser cutter or a water jet. So if that's the case, if you could always just use the flat and then like this curve, and then just sort of cut them out of any planar material you have. So, and also obviously let's do a quick extrude. So we go extrude, right? And then the extrude tool wants a direction, and this is our x vector here, like going this way. So vector x, I'm gonna put that here on the directions, and then the factor, we'll make it like a 10 millimeter extrusion. So we go like that. Oh, whoops. And then we connect that here. And there you go. This is a super, it is super easy. But it actually does look cool if I like bake it real quick. I'll group it. Right, and then let's see let's see it like kind of rendered. It's cool, right? But I don't like that. I mean I do like that, but I want something different. Okay, so let's see. The next step is actually I want to cut this up. I don't like that they're equally cut up. If you remember my example, there was different levels to the cuts. So I want to show you guys how to do that. So now you see how you could do these sort of equally distributed slicing sort of designs. But I want to actually control the distribution of this. And the way to do that is with a couple things. One is we need a graph mapper. So let's go to, we'll double click and press graph mapper, and then you click on it, and then this is the graph mapper tool. And then we need another range to input into this graph mapper. So range like that, and the domain we're gonna keep it at 0 to 1, and the number is here. You know how we use 70? We're gonna put that here like that, and then we're gonna put this in here. And then we're gonna right click, and in graph type, put Bezier. And then so now I want these planes, right? If I can't use this component, I need to have more control over that. So the component I'm gonna use, it's the same thing except that this thing is in division, and it just because basically it equally spaces them out. But if you go here to analysis, that same tool is here, except that it's only for one. So here's the perpendicular frame. So you click it, and then you add the curve here, and then you add this here. So let me hide. We're gonna hide this, and we're also gonna hide. Let me hide this for right now. Okay. So as you can see, if I zoom in here, they all got stuck here in this corner, and the reason why is because basically what happens is with the range tool, I got all of these numbers, right, and right now I haven't changed anything with the graph mapper, but But basically, I went from 0 to 1, but the thing is, this curve, the domain of this curve isn't from 0 to 1, and the reason why is because it's not reparameterized. Usually simple lines are a line that you made from 1 millimeter to 1 millimeter would be one, but that's not how it works. So if I deconstruct the domain of this curve, right? Let me go to math, deconstruct domain, like that. And if I connect this thing so we can see inside of it, it's from 0 to 3000. And I don't want that. I want it to be from 0 to 1. So a way to do that is here in this curve component, you right click it, and then here it has this reparameterize curve tool. And what that does is it makes the curve domain into 0 to 1 as opposed to 0 to 3000. So you click on it, and you see now it's now the domain of this curve is 0 to 1. And if you look at our planes, they're all now they're all distributed around the curve. And now let's see what happens when we move our graph mapper. Oops. See? It's hard to tell, so let me I'm gonna put a real quick like a big plane or something. Let me see, plane. Where's plane? There you go. Right, and we'll set the domain to just a little bigger. Well, we'll just keep, for right now, we'll just keep it like that so you can see. But if I move this around, you see I could use this to control the spacing of my cuts. So like let's say I wanted something like a lot in one corner and like none at all in the other corner. And if I use these frames and if I place them here, back to our slicing tool, if you remember, see? We don't need to see the planes right now. And the reason why I was showing these planes as opposed to, well, actually let's add this too. See? And then the reason why I did it with just the planes and not move around, because slicing and also extruding is actually a heavy algorithm, or a heavy calculation. So if when I move it around, see, it takes a really long time. It still does it, but it just takes it's just a heavy calculation. So a lot of times I'll stop that, and then and I'll use something like this just to sort of be a little more organic with my construction. And if you've seen my wheel video, I tend to do that even with the very complex ones. But I think to compress it in the middle, you kind of have to do this, right? And then so then let's put the number to 75. So there. Now let's go back. Now we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this either. So let me show you guys that. So see, now we have these cuts, and I want to basically make these into their own like box, so that I can use it to slice the main volume later. So I kind of wanna tell the computer, slice this up, slice this up, slice this up, slice this up. So I'll show you guys how I do that. Guess what we're gonna do? Everyone's favorite. We're gonna organize. Yay, organizing is tight. I know you guys love it. So I'm only doing this for you guys. Like that. What's this? There's nothing. We're gonna group these up. I'm gonna make them groupies, and then like that, and then let's scribble. we're gonna make this 20, and this we'll call number of slices. There we go. Put that here. Control copy paste here. This one, actually, this one, you know what? It's since I know I'm not gonna move that anymore, we're gonna internalize it like we did in the last video. And this is the fillet, so I might want to change that later. So we'll keep that around, and then we'll go fillet size. And then let's change the color to something like yellow. There you go. Okay. Now we got these slices. Okay, so what I'm actually gonna do is I want to basically make a box that encompasses this one with this one. So I have to sort of group them and organize them like that. So this step is actually gonna have a lot of data, or not a lot, but data organization. And just in case you guys didn't see, you know, that little test we did, I might as well, right? Cool, right? But it's not what we want. Or do I? Nope. Okay. So let's delete that. We'll delete that. Now we got these slices. Okay. So let's say I wanted to I want to organize them, right? Let me hide this like that. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is shift the I want to connect this one with this one, right? And then just to sort of start looking at the data and all that, let me go in here. So they're all grouped up right now. And I mean, they're all right now in their own groups. And I don't want that. I want them because I'm gonna be shifting them around. So what I'm gonna do is flattening them. So we right click it and we flatten. So now we have all of these closed planar curves. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna group this one with this one, and this one and this one, this one and this one, like that, right? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use the shift tool. So shift. And what the shift tool does is if I go here, is there a point here? Is there a point? Let me see. Where are they? No. Let me get the area. I'm gonna get the area of this thing. Right? That's the area. And if I use in display, if I do my numbers here, and I put the centroid into here, and then in size I put something like 20. Right? Actually, I'll go even higher. Whoop. See, now we can see how our data is set up in our data tree. So here, those are the numbers. And this is basically how the data tree works. This is how you communicate with the algorithm, because you don't have a mouse to click on. So data tree management is basically how you make selections and how you organize everything to come up with your designs. And it's the most important part of this whole process. And you know, it's the part that people actually skip the most. And it's really funny because then it basically sets them off on a never-ending journey where you're never really gonna make it that far until you really master this. So so let me just show you guys some of the things we're dealing with here. This tool is called the list item tool. So if I go here, I see now it selected the 0, right? We have 75, so let's go with 75, right? Like that. So if I select that, see, I'm selecting through all of these, right? And I see this all the time. So many people, they, instead of understanding this and using math and proper data management to make designs, they'll actually go like control copy 7, you know, Like let's say I want to connect, because what I'm trying to do is connect. What I'm trying to do is organize these two together, right? Let's say you wanted to like loft between them or something, or make a ruled surface between them, right? Ruled surface like that. See, this is not even that good. But uh, the or if you keep going, right? See, but we don't want that, all right? We want to organize these to make them into basically boxes, and we're also not gonna loft the curves between themselves. Um, So how you do that is by data management, right? So if let's say I did want to just do all that. I wanted to connect each of them into their own. If I do this, I wanted to even though this is wrong, this is just more than anything is just to kind of show you guys what's going on. But let's say I did want to. What happens if I go here? Let me see. Oh, I know what's happening. Okay. Um, what's happening is I think there's an error happening. Yeah. Because after that it's only here. Yeah, what's happening is it's getting sliced at the edge, and there's some sort of inconsistent here with the algorithm, and but for right now that's not necessary, or that doesn't matter, because I'm just trying to show you guys some things. It is annoying me though, so I'm trying to figure out if it's worth moving it around. Yeah. Okay. So let's say I wanted to connect all of those, right? I can use the shift tool. So let me go here and we'll press the list here. Shift, right? It's already at 1. So connect, if I connect this thing here and then this thing here, see it made all of these connections, and there's some errors happening. If I press the list item here too, definitely a lot of errors happening. You see, it's doing all that, and this is I'm just showing you what's happening to the data. You know, I have a list, right, and I use the and here I told it the first one is 0, but then I shifted the list, right. So if I put this shift list here, look, see, you move the 0 here, and if we look at the rendering, you see it's connecting this one all the way here. I don't want that. So a way to stop the list from the list from wrapping around is by here in the shift list, you right click, and then you go, no, down here in the wrap, you go set ballooning false. So now basically what happened is it shifted this thing to this thing, and I mean it shifted them, and then it kind of eliminated that one. So if I only look at if I let me hide all these, right? See, now this tool, it eliminated all of those. Another thing too is I need a and for this one, let me show you. For this one, the original one, I don't since we're shifting everything, I also don't need I don't need 75 on this side. So I'm actually going to do the same thing with the shift tool except backwards. So here you see it has its integer is 1. I want to shift it -1, right? So now if I connect that here, now it only has this. So now we have this and this. All right. So let me delete. We don't need this anymore. We got this here and here. So now basically what's happening is I shifted the list one so I could group them up, because I wanted this item to get grouped with this item, and this item to get grouped with this item, and like that. And doing the shifting, I shifted that, and then I eliminated this one, and then in the end, I don't need this thing to be connected twice, so I did the same thing backwards. I don't know if that made sense, but basically that's what the shift does. So another thing I want to do is I want to group them together, right? So if I look at my data, I got that and I got that, and I want to merge them together so that this two are connected and then this two are connected. So what I have to do is gaff them up. So I gaffed it and gaffed it because I want them to be all in their own group. See? And now I'm going to merge these two together. So we're going to use the merge tool like that, like that. So I go here. So there you go. Now I made this and now I made them into groups. And now I wanna make these into boxes, or I wanna kind of group them up together. So you go to surface, bounding box, and then you put these here. And then here it says per object, you go here and you go union box. And there. So as you can see, I made them all, I basically have grouped them all up into individual boxes. And right now this would sort of be enough to keep going, but the thing is there's actually what's gonna happen is this bounding box, if you look up here, and that's what a bounding box is. It's just trying to find the minimum box that fits between whatever geometry is in there. But that does mean that in here there might be some errors later because we're gonna run a ballooning function, and if it's not perfectly if it's not perfectly enclosed into another volume, we might get errors. So all I really want to do is basically make them just a little bit bigger on this scale. And a very easy way to do that is just scaling them. So we go here like that, and then I gotta find their area to scale them by their center. Go here, and then the factor will be, let's make it 1.5 like that, and we connect that like that. No, actually it doesn't have to be that much. Let's do like 1.2. Okay, and then we just kind of do the same thing. We added this component, so now we're gonna, now we're gonna put this here and here, there. So now we have these volumes, and we're getting really close to being done. So yeah, the next step will be just a simple solid, let me actually, we could just do that right now. Intersect, solid intersection, right? Yeah. So, or no, solid difference. No, solid intersection. So we put this here, and then we'll put these boxes here. And then right now, see, it's doing all the calculations. If I hide all this, and then there, see, now we have all these separate ones. Now we want to sort of separate them, right? So an easy way to do that is with the dispatch tool. So we go to sets, dispatch here, and then the pattern that's already in here is true and false. So when I click the, oh, and actually let me check how they're set up. Yeah, we need to flatten them again. Flatten. Almost done. Like that. So then, that's what the dispatch tool does. It basically, whatever, it goes true, false, true, false, true, false, and then it sends all the true to A and all the false to B. So let's use our display. Custom preview, and we'll go here and we'll connect that here, and then we'll go control copy that and we'll connect that here like that, hide that, and then we go to parameters, input, color, and let's do that. And you know what? I kind of like this color more than the original. But yeah, see, that's how we do it. I know that this part might have seemed a bit difficult if you've never heard of data management, and it is honestly in terms of just grasping that's these whole concepts in the beginning. I know that took me a very long time, and if you don't really understand this right now, don't feel bad about it. I will my next video is gonna be very nerdy and probably very boring, but it's actually gonna be made to help people who have no programming experience, who are just maybe designers or modelers. And I'm gonna start talking a lot about this data management that is extremely valuable, and it's honestly the only reason, it's the only way you're gonna get to these next levels. You need that's something that needs to be very ingrained in your system, and you need to understand it completely to make to make anything. Honestly, I mean, look at, and this one we had to flatten it, then we have to group them together, we had to gaff them up, and you know, we have data merge and reparameterize. There's a lot of flattening here, remember? So, you know, I know that I'm sort of baby stepping you guys in terms of like my own videos, but you gotta remember that I'm also making these very much tailor made to be very simple, and just to kind of start getting your results before you move into the very nerdy difficult part of it, because it is worth it, but it is actually very difficult if you've never done any programming, and it's also a lot of mathematics. So you know, if that's something that you don't like, then I don't know if you'll like Grasshopper that much. But yeah, so see, this is how you do these cool little benches. I hope this helped out, and you know, stay tuned for more videos, and you know, I always say pick up different books and read different articles on how to do these things. The one I always recommend is algorithm aided design. You know, you can email. I always tell people you guys can email me, but don't email me because I get a lot of people from around the world, and I don't have that type of time. If it's very typical stuff, I'm not. Don't go through. I always tell people go through all that book, and then go through the forums. And if you still can't find your answer, you could please come email me. But you need to sort of, you know, work it out on your own first. Anyways, I hope you like that, and remember to experiment. And this algorithm will be available in my website for $100. No, I'm joking. For free. It's gonna be in the Grasshopper section. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I hope it's not too long. I really try to make them as short as possible, but it's like it's so complex. But anyways, okay. Hope you guys have a nice week, and take care. Bye bye.